Club with my girls looking hot as fuck. Looking at you getting up, probably cause I'm on the hunt. Everybody's looking cause they know me, trying to see who's gonna be my next hubby or wifey. If you got some shit to say, then say it to my face. Everybody out here saying that I'm acting fake. If you're mad, then honey, sorry, I cannot relate. But maybe I'd be mad too if I had no game. I feel it rising, amplify. There's a fire in the sky. I won't stop till I'm satisfied. I'm in love with the hump, but you can't see. If you was here right now, then I would be. I know there's something wrong with me. It's bloodlust if you want it. In the night when I strike, you can find me. Probably acting like I'm super duper lonely. I know there's something wrong with me. It's bloodlust if you want it.
The following message is a law enforcement warning issued by the Governor of New Eden, the New Eden Police Department, the United States government, and the Federal Bureau of Investigations. Approximately 2 hours ago, the New Eden Police Department received a report of a disturbance taking place at the Lost Eden Correctional Facility. At approximately 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a riot began to occur in the dining hall of the Lost Eden Correctional Facility, and a prison break has occurred. During the riot, a single prisoner has escaped the facility. The prisoner's name has not been released at this time, and they are considered to be extremely dangerous. All citizens in the provincial state of New Eden are being urged to take caution at this time and to lock all doors, windows, and other openings into your home. If you are currently out on the road, please refrain from picking up any strangers and giving them a ride. If you have means of armed protection, please arm yourself at your discretion. Please stay tuned for more information on this dangerous situation as it becomes available. This station has interrupted regularly scheduled programming to participate in the emergency notification system. This is WEDN. We will continue to serve the New Eden area. If you are not in the New Eden area, please tune to a station providing news and emergency information for your local area. During this emergency, most stations will remain on the air, providing news and emergency instructions for their assigned areas. The emergency notification system has been activated. We interrupt our regularly scheduled program. This is a law enforcement emergency. Here is an update concerning the escaped prisoner who escaped the Lost Eden Correctional Facility over 4 hours ago. At this time, the escaped prisoner remains at large in the provincial state of New Eden. The New Eden State Police have closed all borders leading to neighboring states at this time, and no one will be allowed to enter or exit the state until further notice. Members of the New Eden State Police, as well as members of the United States military, the Department of Metahuman Corrections, the FBI, the New Eden State Highway Patrol, the Alice Park Police Department, the New Eden Sheriff's Office, and the Old Eden Sheriff's Office have begun a statewide manhunt for the escaped prisoner at this time. At this time, only 3 reports of a sighting have come to the attention of authorities, and they have been unable to verify the validity of these reports as of yet. If you have any information on the escaped prisoner's whereabouts, please dial 911 and report information immediately. The Federal Bureau of Investigations and the New Eden Sheriff's Office have just made the discovery of 57 bodies at a city park approximately 10 miles from the Lost Eden Correctional Facility. It appears that the park was encountered by the escaped prisoner and that all who were present at the park at said time were killed. Further details are known about the exact nature of these killings, but cannot be disclosed to the public at this time. All citizens are still being asked to remain in their homes and to arm themselves with any form of armed weaponry, should citizens deem such actions necessary. Remember to lock all doors, windows, and other means of entry into your home, and do not let anyone into your home, for any reason. If you are currently out on the road, please do not pick up any strangers. Please stay tuned for further updates as they become available. This is WEDN. We will interrupt our regularly scheduled program. This is a law enforcement emergency. Here is an update concerning the escaped prisoner who escaped the Lost Eden Correctional Facility earlier this evening. Authorities have cornered the escaped prisoner after multiple tips reported that the escapee was seen outside of the Alice Park Arena in downtown Alice Park, approximately 40 miles from the Lost Eden Correctional Facility. The name of the escaped prisoner has been released to police in the general public. His name is Maxwell Matthews, a 22-year-old white male, standing 6 foot 2 inches tall, weighs 198 pounds, with blue eyes, brown hair and has an anti-Eden tattoo on his left bicep. Maxwell is believed to be responsible for the killings of 57 people in a city park an hour ago. Maxwell was sent to the Lost Eden Correctional Facility after attacking President Eric Matthews 4 years ago and is serving a life sentence there for attempted assassination of a government official. At this time, Maxwell is currently in a standoff with police after it was revealed to police and government authorities that he has abducted a 19-year-old college student whose identity is known but cannot be disclosed to the public at this time. All citizens are being asked to remain in their homes, as while the situation is expected to come to a close shortly, things may change. This is the emergency notification system. This station has interrupted regular programming to participate in the emergency notification system. This is WEDN. We will continue to serve the New Eden area. If you are not in the New Eden area, you should tune to stations providing news and emergency information for your local area. Please stay tuned for further updates on this evolving situation. The emergency notification system has been activated. We interrupt our regularly scheduled program. This is a law enforcement emergency. Here is an update about the situation in progress at Alice Park Arena involving an escaped prisoner, Maxwell Matthews. We have recently received a memo from the United States government stating that a second hostage is currently inside of Alice Park Arena. The identities of both hostages can now be revealed. The first hostage has been identified as 24-year-old Aristides Roberts. The second hostage has been identified as 27-year-old Lexi Matthews. Aristides Roberts stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, has jet black hair, last reported as being in a bowl cut, a pronounced scar across his left eye, and also has heterochromatic eyes. His right eye is sky blue, while his left eye is a dark amber. Lexi Matthews is a white female, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, pink hair, extending down to elbow height, with pronounced scarring across her back, and does not have any organic limbs. At this time, it has been confirmed that Lexi is in fact the sister of Maxwell, and that this seems to be motivated by revenge. In addition, it has been reported that approximately 10 minutes ago, a raid of Alice Park Arena was attempted by specialized units of the United States Department for Metahuman Retention, but that Maxwell was unaffected by this attack. Maxwell then proceeded to brutally kill all units sent into the building, and abnormal energy reading has been reported by the Orion Corporation inside of the arena at this time. It is currently unknown what the meaning of these readings indicate, however.
So, you see the soldier. This boy truly doesn't take shit from anyone. Not even his own sister. But you're probably wondering to yourself, "Oh, almighty Jadir, why are you telling me about Maxwell? And who is this Lexi girl?" If you are, I don't blame you. I didn't know those two machines had names other than their designations. But then again, what do I know? You're the spectators. You're the ones who hear every story this universe will ever tell. But in case today is your off day, we're taking a road trip down the most devastating road that humans can go down. This story is about how love isn't pretty. The events you just saw, they were fabricated. Or were they? Turns out, the love story we've been hearing isn't the only love story brewing behind the scenes. And it turns out the real 0 and 00 we care about in this tale share the exact thing those two from Earth 897, Aristides. You see, neither of them had a fucking clue how humanity worked. They just got their little leashes stuck on a pole and were forced to follow the orders of their owners. But the moment those little leashes were released, they thought, why don't we go find what these humans call happiness? Turns out that the first time they encountered it, the two got in a little bit of a discussion with good old Aristides. And don't worry, he's still alive and well. In every timeline, it seems the Almighty One wants him alive. It's almost like a parental sense of attachment to the little bastard. But back to the point. Aristides was taken back to the home of 0 and 00. I like to call this tale First Love. But to tell it, we need to go back a bit. Let's pick back up right after Aristides got swept off his feet, quite literally.
Okay, so the world thinks I'm dead. 0, what's the point of it all now?
Aries.
Aries?
You're an Aries. Born April 20th, 2000. Parents abandon you. Adopted by a loving family who you lost to cancer 2 years ago. Aries. Is it okay if I call you that?
Sure, but where the hell are we? If I may ask.
The only place that's safe for freaks like us.
Ah, there he is. That's good old 00. Real name, Maxwell Matthews. Guy's a real nutcase, if you ask me. But he's the stronger one between him and his sister. Max over here was sent to destabilize governments by the Federation since his birth. And since he was made by a machine, he never ages. Gets kind of a rush from the feeling of immortality. Or so he thought. The moment he said his introduction to Aristides over there, he was never truly sore about anything anymore. He said the whole thing with pure resentment that his sister was just picking up guys. But you know, this might be the first moment that heartless bastard Maxwell ever felt feelings for anyone. He opened his eyes and saw Aristides, and he thought to himself, how perfectly imperfect is this human I'm seeing? Could this be a crush?
God, can you behave for just this once in your life, Max?
Maybe if you told me who this guy is, I can.
For the love of God, Aries, this is Max, my brother. And this is the Orion. I apologize if it looks a bit old. They made our mother build this place 40 years ago. Turns out it can phase through realities.
See, Lexi was smart, sophisticated, while Max was a bit of a brute. Lexi knew everything about everyone. Kind of easy when you can interfere with any living being and experience their entire life in a matter of seconds. Great party trick. But who gives one when all you're going to amount to is another kill on my death board? But the fact that Lexi knew about the multiverse, now that surprised me. I thought that you spectators were supposed to just lurk in the shadows, yet you let Lexi see you. Smooth moves. But enough about your uselessness. After explaining to Aristides her origin, she had to leave for supplies. Lexi and Max could live forever and never require food, water, oxygen. Hell, they could go without any vital organs and live. But Aristides, he was still immortal. And Lexi here takes care of her man. But it turns out Max wanted to be just like her sister and get a man all for himself. Turns out, it's not the best route to take. Trying to take the same man, that is. Lexi would return to the Orion about an hour later.
I'm home. You two getting along?
Turns out that Max underestimated the attachment Aristides had already developed for Lexi. Spectators.
War. War always changes. The life of a soldier is outlined by their respective governments in the same damn way every time. Recruit, train, deploy. Recruit, train, deploy. But this war was one none of us were prepared for.
The following message has been issued at the request of the United States government. This is an administrative message, and no immediate action is required. Approximately 1 hour ago, the United Nations advised all member nations that the newly formed country of New Adonai has launched an invasion on United Nations member nation, Geopoist. At this time, the president of Geopoist has asked for the assistance of all UN member nations, and at this time, this may lead to a war between the United Nations and New Adonai. At this time, however, no conflict which will have implications here at home is expected to take place. However, citizens who do wish to take shelter will be allowed to voluntarily enter any protectorate bunker in their state at any time from this point forward, and while this is an action that is entirely voluntary at the current moment, citizens should be aware that should conflict evolve any further, that the United States may have no other action than to side with Geopoist and declare war against New Adonai. Again, no conflict that will immediately impact the United States is expected at this time, although citizens should be aware that should the conflict in Geopoist escalate, that the United States may declare war against New Adonai. This is the emergency notification system serving the Boston, Massachusetts area. If you are not in the Boston area, you should now tune to a station providing news and emergency information for your local area. This station has interrupted regularly scheduled programming to take part in the National Emergency Notification System network. The emergency notification system has been activated to keep you informed. The following message is an evacuation watch message for all cities in the United States with a population over 100,000. Again, this is an evacuation watch message for all cities in the United States with a population over 100,000. Approximately 5 hours ago, after an emergency session of the United Nations Security Council, the United Nations, along with 40 other member nations, have declared war against New Adonai. At this time, the United States is issuing the following instructions to all who are hearing this message. If you are over the age of 18 and are a male, you are being asked to immediately report to your nearest military base or outpost for immediate training, followed by deployment. This order also applies to all who are incarcerated in this country, who are able to fight. New Adonai has stated that the United States will deeply regret their actions, and it is believed that an attack against the United States by New Adonai is likely within the next 1 to 2 weeks. Again, it is believed that an attack against the United States by New Adonai is likely within the next 1 to 2 weeks. In addition, state media from New Adonai has displayed extremely dangerous individuals, who they have called metahumans, as their first line of defense against the United States and all who oppose the occupation of Geopoist by the New Adonaian government. At this time, due to the danger these individuals pose to the general public, all citizens who reside in a city with a population of over 100,000 are immediately asked to prepare for evacuation. Evacuation is likely, should more intelligence be received by the United States Armed Forces and the UN about an attack against those who now oppose New Adonai. Again, all citizens who reside in a city with a population of over 100,000 are asked to immediately prepare for evacuation. This alert does not mean that an evacuation order has been issued to the general public, however. This evacuation watch message is purely to prepare citizens and inform them that a situation that may necessitate mass evacuations is likely to occur within the next 1 to 2 weeks. This is the emergency notification system serving the Boston area. If you are not in the Boston area, please tune to a station providing news and emergency information for your local area. This station has interrupted regularly scheduled programming to participate in the National Emergency Notification System network. The emergency notification system has been activated. We interrupt all regularly scheduled programming. This is a national emergency. Please stand by for important information, which pertains to this listening area after the tones. The following message has been ordered for immediate transmission, per order of the President. This country is facing imminent attack. Repeating. This country is facing imminent attack. Approximately 30 minutes ago, state media in New Adonai announced that a metahuman attack against the mainland United States would be taking place within the next 8 hours, and that the Americans would bow down to the supreme rule of New Adonai. At this time, heavy movement has been detected over United States airspace, as it is believed that metahumans are preparing for the order to attack this country. At this time, the evacuation watch message, issued over 46 hours ago, has been cancelled and is to be immediately replaced by an evacuation order for all cities with a population of over 100,000. If you have already prepared your evacuation preparedness kit, please proceed with evacuation immediately. If you have not prepared an evacuation preparedness kit, which contains food, water, identification details for you and your family, medical supplies, and any other necessities, do not gather these items. Immediately evacuate. There is no time to prepare an evacuation preparedness kit if you have not done so already. This country is facing We interrupt regularly scheduled programming. This is a national emergency. Please stand by. This is an attack warning. Repeat, this is an attack warning. Attack warning means that an actual attack against the United States is in progress, and that immediate action must be taken to protect your life. Moments ago, NORAD has detected that approximately 550 metahumans have begun to descend towards major population centers in the United States. This country is under attack. Repeating, this country is under attack. At this time, the following cities should be prepared for immediate attack from metahumans: Boston, Massachusetts. The following is an administrative message from the Brisbane Police Department. This is an administrative message, and no immediate action is being requested of those hearing this message at this time. Approximately 3 days ago, an electronic malfunction was reported at the Brisbane County Jail, and that approximately 2 metahumans had initiated a prison riot at the behest of a dangerous criminal. The identity of this criminal is 48-year-old Mayfield Williams. Mayfield was arrested last year for aiding the terrorists known as Aristides Roberts and Subject Zero. Approximately 1 hour ago, the prison riot, which has now been going on for 3 days, has been brought to an abrupt end after an unidentified division of the United States Department for Metahuman Retention stormed the building and eliminated all who were causing civil unrest. It is believed that Mayfield may have attempted to call upon the aid of Aristides Roberts, as a singular telephone call was detected emanating from inside the jail approximately 1 hour ago, and was established between a phone Mayfield had obtained from the warden after he killed her and an unidentified recipient of the call, whose originating location has not yet been determined. At this time, it is believed that Aristides Roberts may be en route to the Brisbane County Jail, and for this reason, citizens are asked to keep their eyes open should this dangerous terrorist decide to visit the city of Brisbane. This message will repeat. The following emergency notification system message is a follow-up to the earlier issued administrative message. This is a civil danger warning, effective for all of Brisbane County. This civil danger warning will remain in effect until civil authorities determine that the threat to the Brisbane County area has been brought to an end. Approximately 15 minutes ago, Aristides Roberts was successfully located by the United States Department for Metahuman Retention. However, what occurred following first contact will bring immediate civil danger to the Brisbane County area. Aristides, along with his primary accomplice, Subject Zero, were noted as being on a direct course for the Brisbane County Jail, and upon an attempt by the Department for Metahuman Retention to neutralize these terrorists, Aristides Roberts ordered an individual to execute all DMR forces within Brisbane County, and upon doing so, the brother of Subject Zero, Maxwell Matthews, more commonly known as Subject 00, emerged and within moments, executed all DMR forces within Brisbane County, including the unidentified division which was reported to be present at the Brisbane County Jail. At this time, it is expected that Aristides, Subject 0, and Subject 00 will arrive at the Brisbane County Jail within the next 10 minutes. At this time, it is unknown if these terrorists plan to attack civilians, but regardless of their intentions, all citizens hearing this message should return to their homes immediately and lock all doors, windows, and other points of entry into your home. Further information on this extremely dangerous situation is incoming. Please stay tuned for this message. This is BRSB TV 27 in Brisbane. We have interrupted regularly scheduled programming to participate in the emergency notification system. During this emergency, we will remain on the air providing news and emergency information for the Brisbane County area. If you are not located within Brisbane County, you should now tune to a station providing local emergency information and news for your area. The emergency notification system has been activated to keep the public informed.
Three months had passed since we first met. Or I guess I should really be saying, a year and 3 months had passed since the first time I was, well, on the brink of death.
We interrupt regularly scheduled programming for this activation of the Emergency Notification System of Canada. Please stand by. The following message has been transmitted at the request of the Ontario Department for Civil Protection. This is a civil danger warning. Approximately 10 minutes ago, during a Toronto Blue Jays game, a group of at least 25 entered the stadium and began opening fire on anyone in their sights. At this time, it has been reported that many casualties have occurred so far, and that these individuals have now ceased fire and are holding the remaining occupants of the stadium hostage. In addition, these individuals are requesting to speak with police and civil authorities at once and to be granted an open line of communication with the citizens of Canada. At this time, no further updates have been received from inside the stadium, as it appears that metahumans with the ability to control electrical power flow are a part of this terrorist cell, and it has been very hard to communicate with anyone inside of the stadium. At this time, there have been no clues as to the identities of these terrorists, but authorities are currently looking into this matter. All citizens hearing this message must be aware that police and civil authorities have begun constructing roadblocks and have shut down all transportation routes. We will continue to provide the latest news and information for the Toronto area. If you are not in this local area, please tune to a station providing the latest news and information for your area. The emergency notification system has been activated. We interrupt regularly scheduled programming for this activation of the Emergency Notification System of Canada. Please stand by. This is the Emergency Notification System of Canada. This is a law enforcement warning message. This law enforcement warning message has been transmitted at the request of the Canadian Armed Forces, the Toronto Police Service, and the Government of Ontario. Here is an update from Rogers Centre. Just a few moments ago, the Toronto Police Service received a memo from the Government of Ontario informing civil authorities that among the hostages inside of Rogers Centre is Mayor John Tory. The mayor was attending the game with friends and family when the hostage situation began. Along with Mayor John Tory, it has been confirmed that two high-ranking Canadian military officials have also been confirmed as in attendance at tonight's game. The terrorists then proceeded to transmit a live visual feed to members of the Toronto Police Service who arrived at the scene and began to transmit to the Toronto Police Service the execution of one of these two military officials. At this time, no demands have been made, despite the growing frustrations these terrorists seem to harbor, and at this time, the Toronto Police Service has decided to immediately request assistance from the Canadian Armed Forces. At this time, it has been confirmed the 2 battalions of the Canadian Army are currently en route to Rogers Centre to assist in the defusing of this dangerous situation, as well as 4 helicopters from the Royal Canadian Air Force. At this time, another development has occurred that all citizens need to be aware of. At this time, one of the metahumans who has been confirmed to be present inside of Rogers Centre has flight capabilities, and it has been alleged that there are others who have flight capabilities as well. For this reason, the Government of Ontario has decided to close the airspace leading in and out of Ontario. At this time, all flights currently on course for Ontario will be redirected to other locations, and no flights, commercial or residential, shall be allowed to land or take flight inside of Ontario until further notice. In addition, if the situation continues to deteriorate, the Government of Ontario may institute martial law in the City of Toronto. This is all the information that is currently able to be transmitted to the general public at this time. All citizens hearing this message should now be prepared to take shelter in the most centralized part of your current location at any moment, and all citizens, while not required to, are asked nonetheless to remain indoors until the situation has been resolved. This is the Emergency Notification System of Canada. All broadcast and cable systems shall transmit this Emergency Notification System message. This is WEDN TV 62 in Toronto. We will continue to provide the latest news and information for the Toronto area. If you are not in the Toronto area, please tune to a station providing the latest news and information for your local area. The emergency notification system has been activated. The following message is being transmitted per the order of the Government of Ontario, the Canadian Armed Forces, and the United States Government. This is a civil emergency message. Here is an update on the hostage situation currently taking place inside of Rogers Centre in Toronto. Approximately 45 minutes ago, contact was successfully established with the leader of these terrorists, who has been identified as 19-year-old Sage Matthews. Sage and civil authorities then proceeded to converse, and after a very civil conversation between General Jean-Luc Blaisio, agreed to allow all of the civilian hostages leave the stadium. However, the terrorists refused to release 30 of the hostages, as they state that they are here for them and them only. Any civilian casualties were unintended occurrences, and in a bizarre turn of events, Sage stated that once their plans were completed, which she stated are not a threat to anyone but the 30 remaining hostages, would proceed to turn herself over to the custody of civil authorities. However, the United States government has now made contact with the government of Ontario and have stated that a strange occurrence is going on, as in Houston, Texas, an almost identical situation is taking place, and even more strange, Sage Matthews have also been reported on the scene of the hostage situation in Houston. At this time, a civil emergency message has been transmitted to inform citizens of the current status of this bizarre situation, and to inform citizens that the following has been ordered for immediate implementation in the city of Toronto, per the order of Mayor John Tory, who was among those released. John Tory has stated that one of the metahumans currently inside of the stadium interfaced with him, and stated that, quote, "If the city is not put under a state of martial law within the next 30 minutes, a great loss of life will occur." At this time, it is still unknown why a loss of life is expected to occur, or why Mayor John Tory has agreed to implement a measure per the request of the terrorists, but nonetheless, it has been ordered to immediate implementation. As of this message's conclusion, martial law will take effect in the city of Toronto. During this period, the Canadian Armed Forces will begin to take control of the city, and all citizens should remain indoors until allowed to exit them, with citizens who disobey this imposition of martial law facing immediate arrest, without the right for legal counsel, or possibly even death, as lethal force has been authorized. This is the Emergency Notification System of Canada. Please stand by for further updates on this extremely dangerous situation. The following message is being transmitted per the order of the Government of Ontario, the Canadian Armed Forces, and the United States Government. This is a Providence-wide emergency. Please stand by. This is not a test. Repeating, this is not a test. Approximately 5 minutes ago, Rogers Centre was breached by an unknown force, and at this time, an unknown branch of the United States military has begun a full-on assault on the city of Toronto. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has made contact with the President of the United States, Eric Matthews, and President Matthews has stated that this is not a recognized branch of the United States government, and that similar attacks from this same group are ongoing in Houston, Texas. At this time, a shelter-in-place warning is now in effect for the entire province of Ontario, as members of this unknown group have also begun exiting the city of Toronto and are at this time beginning an all-out assault against civilian targets. At this time, this station would like to state to the general public that at no time
The following civil information message has been ordered for transmission today, February 35th, 5600 for the following areas. On Alatar. All of Adonai. This message has been issued at the request of President Jatir Nadoria. Approximately 12 minutes ago, the Alatar Armed Forces reported that an attack was beginning to take place on the outskirts of Adonai between Aladarian armed forces and a separatist group led by known terrorist, Jatir Nadoria. At this time, Lithonian weaponry has been confirmed to be in the hands of the separatists and that Aladarian armed forces are having extreme difficulties holding back this attack. For this reason, a civil information message has been ordered for release at the request of President Jatir Nadoria. All hearing this message who are currently located inside of the city of Adonai should immediately return home and stay indoors for the foreseeable future. This is Alatar 1. We will continue to serve the Republic of Alatar. If you are not located within the Republic of Alatar and are hearing this message, please change frequencies at once. This message will repeat.
War always changes. The life of a soldier is outlined by their respective governments in the same damn way every time. Recruit, train, deploy. Recruit, train, deploy. But this war was one none of us were prepared for. When I was a kid, I dreamed of the sky, flying high throughout an interstellar starfield that makes me forget about the hell I grew up in. The hell where everyone told me what to be. The hell I lived in. Until that day. The day when I went on and told the world that that kid was dead. I left the studio that day asking myself, how would the kid, the most powerful man on the planet, be so easily run down? The next day, I told the slaves in the office I was done. Naturally, when I started talking about how I thought the kid wasn't dead, and this was attention-seeking on my end, they did what any other corporate slave would do. They blamed it on me.
Down on the fucking ground. You find it funny attacking your own fucking home? You know what? Fuck you.
Then, darkness. I felt a sharp pain in my neck. I would find out later that they didn't just decide to throw me in a hole and throw away the hole. They threw me in with the very kind that I despised. Fucking metahumans. There was a time when I was happy, when things were looking up for me. I had a great job. People loved my work as if I was making a modern-day Shakespearean back catalog in my reporting. One day in 2001, I went home and found a scene of horror. There was something I originally thought was from my kids. You see, they just started using the silly string like a bunch of little shits. But then I looked closer. It was human silly string. I heard my wife in the master bedroom. Helen? Helen, are you okay? Speak to me! When I got to the bedroom, I saw a vision that will stick with me forever. So much that I made sure my mind was trained to censor it, like it was network fucking television. There was this man in my bedroom, and there he was, and all around, there Helen was. That metahuman came to my house because a story about fucking Eden. He said words to me, but it was in their fucking language. I couldn't understand shit. Just sounded like a horrifying sense of tranquil ambience. The next day I went to Eden 1 and told them they can all go to hell. That was when I moved to Minneapolis. Nothing was ever good in my life. Until we're here in the aftermath. Just you two. Who should I despise like the fucking devil himself? But here we stand, like a big happy family.